OK, Greg, and it's time to meet the teams.
Oh, hi there. Like a lot of Americans, I'm very infatuated with the British game show Taskmaster. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching, but one of the things I was interested in is when we have 5 people and we split them up into a team of 2 and a team of 3 every season, that seems a little unfair. I'm not sure whether it's unfair because 2 people can communicate better than 3 people can, or because 3 people means they have more chances to do the task correctly. But it not being even just didn't feel right to me. And so I decided to dig into the data to see if there was maybe one team that had an advantage over the other. And what I found was mildly interesting.
Your time starts now.
So the first thing I did was I checked out the Taskmaster wiki. I assumed that there would be some sort of tally or total of all of the team tasks and who won each one. And there is, but it's not compiled. And so if you look at it, you just have to sift through Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, Series 4, Series 5. It's a lot, and then you'd have to do the math yourself. So I did. So I went through and added up every single team task that happened on every series throughout the show. Now, in the earlier series, we usually only had 3 to 4 tasks per season. And later on, when we started doing 10 episodes, obviously we had more. The most team tasks that they ever did in a single season was in Series 14, which had 9 team tasks. And the least amount of tasks was 3, but that's in like Seasons 1, Seasons 2, and Seasons 5. So far, as of this taping, which is one day after the Season 17 premiere, there have been 94 team tasks. And so that means it's really hard to determine who comes out on top if you don't have the data. If you do have the data, it's rather easy. Let's take a look. So, after compiling all the data, what I found was that 2-person teams win slightly more often than 3-person teams do, but it does seem like 2-person teams have a lot of advantages. Like, it's easier to communicate between 2 people. There's less chance of one person kind of screwing it up for everybody. And also, this data isn't entirely finite because there are little tiny instances of inconsistencies throughout the series. Sometimes a guest character will show up and unbalance the teams, or sometimes the 3-person teams, one of those people will have a secret extra task, which is to sabotage their team. And when somebody sabotages their own team, they may still get points if they do it successfully, kind of like Morgana does, but the rest of the 3-person team won't get points. So it's a little bit up in the air. But if we look at the official scoring throughout the series from Greg Davies, it's very, very clear that the people on 2-person teams have a slight mathematical advantage than the people on 3-person teams. And I think in Series 17, we will see that continue because of the wild cards that can appear on 3-person teams. Very often, they will pit similar people for the 2-persons and then very diametrically opposed people for 3-person teams. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes we get very big opposites in 2-person teams, but overall it's very likely that your wildcard character, like Sophie Willen in Series 17, is going to throw stuff off for the 3-person team, even though they have statistically a higher chance of getting stuff accurate. And then there's also stuff where it's like you have to coordinate when you can't see each other, when you're not talking. That's always going to be easier with 2 people than it is with 3. And so very interestingly, Season 15, the team of 3 scored more points, 42 points, which even more interestingly is the opposite number of 24, 42, 24, that the team of 2 people scored in that very same season. But so far, our highest scoring team is 42 in season 15, and our lowest scoring team is Team 3 in season 1 with 2 points.
Sabotage your team in their next task.
Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what Series 17 does to these numbers, whether it will make it a little bit more equal. Maybe it'll be 8 and 9, or maybe the gap will widen even further and it will be 10 and 7. I don't know. I'm excited to find out, and perhaps I'll post an update to this video after Series 17 is over, and we can see where the new results lie. Until then, have fun watching Taskmaster. The egg is sweating, and you can just wipe it off. It's like the kid's worst Easter egg